he is completely taken over this game.
Yeah. 12 of the 13 kills have his name on it. And that's coming out of your mid lane. Often you see aggression in these side lanes, but there weren't kills happening until Quinn started moving, and he's been sure to get to every single kill that's happening. Not going for the boots of travel build that has been so popular on Puck, just doing it with this more aggressive, active build with the treads.
I think we're seeing why people are banning Puck. Like, I mean, Quinn is definitely playing amazingly, but also this hero can start to do some crazy things. Calls pushback and tries to dodge. Stun comes out onto Flea, able to jaunt away, and he is going to get doomed everything. Oh my god. No, there's no way. There's no way. I think they finally got him. Oh, yeah, he's going to get brought down. Nice finish there. They needed that one in a bad way.
Yeah. They just all-ined on him. They hook-shotted a Puck to just cogs him back into a Lion. They were like, this kill with his 10 kill streak is worth so much gold. Our comeback is killing Quinn right now, so great call from Black and Yellow just to all-in. Clockwork throwing away his life to make sure they kill the Puck, because that really helped out Zero's game, getting that 700 gold bounty.
Totally. Well, and I think that that's sort of, like you said, their mechanism for coming back in this game. And now the question is, how do you sort of secure that next level as well? Because you're also got a Wraith King that now has a relic done at 16 minutes. And, well, stun into turning onto Flea. Beat down dead. You are starting to come online.
Yeah, and I think that's the hard part about this game for Black and Yellow is even if they adjust their game plan to now try and focus, kill Quinn, hunt him for that gold bounty. Problem is, Wraith King's now online, and what's your answer to the Wraith King? Troll is a little bit underfarmed, 2k behind the Wraith King, and your other heroes just don't deal well with Wraith King. Doom is, you know, traditionally Wraith King's like the hardest counter in the game to Doom, so this is kind of bad news for Black and Yellow.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, and I guess that's they picked it into the Wraith King. I think that the thought was much more what they did previously, which was just, all right, let's take down Quinn and just doom him every fight if we can, and we'll hopefully be able to deal with UR afterwards. But we'll see if that ends up working or not. Bottom
Smoke
lane
up from Quincy,
taking that tower.
Oh no, Rio, yeah.
Yeah, they're immediately on him yet again. This poor guy has just been getting bullied all game. Blinding light pushback. They're gonna kill off Jubei afterwards. Quincy crew all over him yet again. I mean, somebody's gonna die. It's just gonna happen, and it keeps on being Ember.
Should have left the creeps. So Clock was going there to be like, okay, I'm a support. I'm going to farm and push out this dangerous lane. And then Ember's like, no, I need the farm. I'm behind. And he paid for it with his life, so.
Yeah.
We'll see Quinn maybe take out this tier 2 mid. That's going to open up those outposts. If Quincy can get that before the 20-minute mark, that's where things start to get pretty ugly. MSS runs into a sentry.
Spike Carapace, the stun afterwards. They're bringing in numbers. Yep. Trying to collapse on the Yamson, and well, yep. Hello, buddy. Silence. Chase down. Done. Leslau gets the kill. Jeez.
Yeah, 10k gold lead, and we'll see what Black and Yellow can do. They need to make some group plays here, especially with the 4 heroes while Troll farms. They're baiting Leslau here up top, but I don't actually know if they can kill him with just the 2 supports. We're going to find out.
Well, they're trying real hard, and they use the Finger of Death. I feel like that's one of the first ones we've seen this game. They managed to find that kill. Really well played. That's what they needed.
Now they're going to get hunted, though. They know the Finger and Hookshot are on cooldown. Quinn's going to scout them out with the Orb.
Oh, be quiet. Don't go nearby. They're taking the outpost. Oh, man. The pre-20-minute outpost.
Will Black and Yellow fight for it? They're coming in with numbers.
Got vision.
But Ember?
Puck. Getting something delivered to him. Has a Blink Dagger now. Yeah, that ward just scouting all this out.
Yeah. And Wraith King can show bottom because they have a Coddle, so they can always recall him in with the Coddle ultimate.
Blink used. Orb as well. Recall coming through. Stun is out now on to that Clockwork. Flea tries to back away as Jubei dies. And Quinn, eyes on the prize, spots out that Lion. And they're going to be able to chase down and kill him as well. So 2 dead quickly, and Black and Yellow going to spread out and farm.
Yep. Just happy to know they've now controlled their outpost and looking for more.
Okay. Ooh, not quite going to get there with the stun, but it doesn't matter. Again, they're just rapping on them constantly.
Meanwhile, bottom, yeah.
They just keep going. Yamsa now also going to get chased down and killed. Quincy crew are just, I mean, they're literally giving them nowhere to go. This coddle like puck combo is so hard to like farm anywhere. And look at it, they find Roya knowing he's at the bounty runes, and now they're gonna TP and try and kill him off as well. Roya, where are you gonna go, buddy? Quinn is up on the high ground, just trying to get some creeps before he ends up getting taken down. Chase goes for the other bounty. Quinn takes that one away afterwards. Silence comes out now, and with another orb, another couple punches, Roya going to drop. Nowhere is safe.
That was pretty next level, getting him with the scan and then instantly Lesal's there, TPing with the plasma field, buying time for Quinn to show up. And Quinn's already found another kill.
What the hell is happening? 12, 1, and 7. Oh my god.
And mid, it's just pick off central.
I mean, this is feeling just about over at this point. Like, there's just nothing they can do. 16,000 gold lead. Every time they've left the base in the last, like, 5 minutes, they've died. Damn.
Yeah. I feel like I'm watching a hot dog eating contest with all the feeding going on.
Ooh, that sounds good. I like hot dogs. But right now, I'm gonna need to. I don't know what my transition is gonna be out of that, but we're gonna just not find it and move on. Oh god. I guess just back to NA Dota. That's the answer. There we are. Roche whenever they want, I guess. That seems to be the play, probably.
Yeah, I think so. They're yeah, with Wraith King and Skellies, sure, why not? The AC is about to come out, so that'll give them nice little boost of armor and ability to kill Roche a bit quicker, so feels like Quincy, you know, you take Roche, you kind of give up a little bit of map control. It's kind of the downside, but black and yellow, they're not going to stick around, wait to lose. They're smoking up, instantly scattered by LOA and MSS. That's the support's job.
There, finds the stun. LOA still going to drop, but they might find a follow-up afterwards. They got that solar bind off. Now Yamsum trying to TP away. He will be able to complete that one, but will everybody else be quite as lucky? Roya caught over here again. They got their eyes on Zero, who has his BKB down. Yoar just chasing him. Has the stun afterwards. With the puck in the area and Leslau, all three cores converge. They find the kill. They pay for their captain getting taken out.
Yeah, that's the, you know, the dream support play. I'm sure SVG is just saying, you know, I set that one up and won it for us. Ryoya's trying to snipe a courier here and struggling. Oh no, he can't get the couriers too fast.
Dude, he only has one remnant left.
He used two to try and kill it. Use another. Try.
Go for it. I believe in you.
Oh no.
Wow, Yawar finds another kill. Jubei going down. Puck inside the base with Yawar while they're chasing this poor old Ember up on the high ground. He manages to escape. Hook shot goes in up top. Coil onto 3 afterwards. Troll trying to beat in and kill the Wraith King, but he's coming back in just a moment. Quinn gets the silence. Orbs out afterwards. Gonna jump away. Back to Jubei. Couple more punches. GG is the call as Quincy crew continue to assert dominance over the entire region. This team is sick.
They make it entertaining. They make it fast, painless for their opponents. 23 minutes and they're done. They just
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for Quincy Crew versus Black and Yellow. Game number 2. The draft set to be underway soon enough. I'm back with Sunsfan and Jenkins, and I believe I saw this information, and I don't mean to like kind of put you guys on the spot, but how the formatting will work out when things shift from here to the major. I believe the NA team who wins and gets the playoff direct will be playing the same team from Southeast Asia. I can't remember who that is now. I wanted to say Pain, but it's not Pain. Neon? I think it's Neon right now. So a lot of people saying that could be an expected hype matchup, whether that be your EG, whether that be your Quincy Crew. But, a lot of people, and I know even some of the players, when I asked them on those media days, what other region has a similar play style to NA? Most of them leaned on Southeast Asia. Yeah. So, and that is going to be the matchup to go right into for playoffs at the major. An exciting one to look forward to. But I digress. Let's pull it back from big picture to small picture. Here's Game 2 draft, Black and Yellow, Quincy Cruz, Suns fan. I throw it your way right now.
Very good. Oh, a Marana first pick, gentlemen.
My lady.
Wowzer.
Lee Marana, boys.
My
And
goodness.
it's not going to be that
good.
OD setup or anything like that. That's been, I wouldn't say it's been that common, but we've
Tip
seen
my
it a couple
fedora.
times. Puck already taken out, so they took Lyrical's advice. Looks like that hero is no more for the rest of probably the series, which would be this game in all likelihood. Marana first pick, though. Do you feel like you need to combo this with something? Like, can you just first pick this hero?
Yeah,
It's flexible. Why not?
I think probably
It's flexible.
the way most people are playing it now is just basically arrowing creeps and maxing arrow. That's kind of how what people are doing, being greedy, getting the Aghanim Scepter. I actually played
Well-
with Flea the other day on this Marana, and man, when you get the Ags, it does a lot of damage. Like if you arrow somebody
does.
and then Starstorm them, they're just dead. Even in late game, if you get like an Ethereal Blade, it really feels like that old like bursty Marana when she first had the Aghanim Scepter that would do
So-
the double Starstorm.
This probably tries to deny like an Enchantress or something. That's the only thing I can think of the reason you picked this first. Because there's Nyx. He's still in the pool. We talked about how that hero just counters everybody seemingly. So feels like you're baiting something if you're blacking it. Because Marana would have been there like throughout the entire draft. Are they ever
Probably,
banning
yeah.
Marana?
Probably.
Yeah.
So there's a reason for this.
Yeah, doubling down, like you said, maybe the anti-Enchantress. It's like, we're going to get Beastmaster now. Don't even think about picking Enchantress because I got my girl Marana by my side. So we got the counter to your counter of summons. The double counter, you see.
I suppose
That's a bit five-head, I think, but all right. If you even think about going summons, we already got the Earthshaker here. So bring in the Dunkage.
yeah, not really like in response to the Marana that much, unless there's like some like you mentioned, like crazy five-head stuff going on. It really seems like in both of these, or sorry, in the previous game, there was a lot of just like drafting their own style, for both teams, like not too many counters really. And it seems like it's the same thing here. Like you see that there's no Rubik possibility because this Marana is most likely going to be a 4 and 99% of games, so you just pick the Shaker. Okay. Snag that from Quinn.
Yeah, for a
We've
second I did a
seen-
double take. I'm like, here's Quincy Crew again, but oh, that's not Quincy Crew. That's Black and Yellow with the second
Still
pick. Void
flexible,
Spirit.
right? We've seen it 2, we've seen it 3, we've seen it 4. So, in fact, it was the last series Quincy Crew versus whoever the hell. Was it Quincy Crew? Well, I get these teams mixed up, and when you get old, the dementia really kicks in. But
The whoever the hell's.
it was Ember versus another Spirit, and we thought they were both position 2, and then ended up being like a support or something like that. Position 4. It was Undying because Moon Meander.
Yeah,
played Ember.
Undying Sad Boys, I think. Hey, there it is.
We're gonna
Cool.
potentially see it again. I
Or
don't know.
Undying
I mean, that
EG? I
keeps
think
it open.
was.
That's the important thing.
The Spirit flip. Yeah, Moon Meanders, Ember Spirit had come out that game. That's right. That's right. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how it would look versus. I mean, Void Spirit. I feel like I've seen more recently as a support. In my very low level pubs, it doesn't work out. Just to give you guys a little inside information there, in case you're wondering. But the Ember did look good.
I don't feel like with these teams they'll do it though. Like I have not seen anytime Quincy Crew has this Void Spirit or Ember, and I checked like 25 games in a row or something. It was always Quinn. Like they just seem to. It's like Dakota was saying. Like they seem to first phase their Quinn hero and just be fine with with it being countered and with it being obvious. They just don't seem to care for whatever reason, and it would be cool to ask them.
From a strategic standpoint, like if you're the captain here for SVG or whatever the hell his name is these days, what is it? LOA, sorry. That's a huge benefit. That's a huge, like, I was going to say rabbit out of the hat, but that actually doesn't make any sense in this reference. But just to have somebody that it doesn't matter if they counter your hero, he's still going to outplay you because, like, mechanically speaking, it's him and Abed are probably easily the best two mids in the entire region. I don't think there's any, I think that's pretty objective. But that's pretty nice to have. You don't have to worry about your mid. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would assume that's the logic because I was thinking, like, why wouldn't Black and Yellow just grab the Ember themselves? You'd think that the Ember would be a better pairing with Mirana having the Chains Arrow combo, but I guess they wagered the stocks just higher with the Void Spirit. And if you say, like, oh, well, you know, then Quincy Crew would take the Void Spirit and have the better matchup. Well, clearly, if Quinn plays this Ember, he feels like he's got it, even if the matchup doesn't favor the Ember. So, yeah, it's just a little curious thought there. We'll see if they do end up sticking these two spirits into that 2 position, but we're having some bans come out now that are pretty intriguing. Of course, you know, Black and Yellow give the nod to remove the Morphling, so we don't get that Morphling Earthshaker combo. And Alchemist and now Wraith King going to be taken off the table.
That takes
Banning,
out a
like,
bit of the potential cheese, right? The Morphling.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like even the you know, even these Alchemist and Wraith Kings are like kind of cheesy in the sense that they're these like hard carries where if Quincy Crew makes a couple of mistakes and they let one of these heroes farm, you can get like a Rapier on the Wraith King, or Alchemist can pop off and have like 6 items, even against a team that you think you're better than. Like if you make a couple of mistakes against these heroes, it can still be really tough just because they, you know, they don't need a lot to like thrive in a game. A few mistakes and that's it.
Yeah, not to harp on the last series, but the A team, if they could, obviously the first draft where they banned the counters to Alchemist and then got Alchemist, that was unfortunate. But then they didn't ban it again next game. It wasn't like the best Alchemist game ever, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like you're playing real Dota, you know? So I feel like they probably learned some stuff, but I feel like they would have learned more potentially if they didn't get. I mean, again, Alchemist is like a very cheesy type.
You learn how to play in an out game. Like an out game is there's that famous, I think, Cinderin quote. It's like, this is an out game, whatever the hell he said, and everybody memes on him for it. But like an out game is different than any other game of Dota because it's literally just like if you're farming against him, you are losing. Period. You just are, because he just farms faster than literally everything. So it's just different. It's not Dota.
And it's changed for a while now, you know, because there used to be the big rubber band swing in the past. So when out games would surface, it was like the moving piggy bank. And if you managed to catch them and pop them, the net worth would be spread dramatically throughout your whole team. And now it's still a different type of game, right? Because you have to add extra pressure and attention around the bounty runes, for example. And, you know, for a lot of teams, it's better and safer for them to kind of just cut that from the pool entirely.
Yeah.
Maybe for A team, they wanted that practice. And if you're going to get out practice, you're probably going to get it the best by EG. But I would side with you, Shannon. It was probably in their better interest to ban it for second phase. Regardless, we don't have to see it here in today. So curious to see what will the mighty core be for Yawar. Elder Titan. Quincy Crew continuing to bring fresh new faces to keep outsiders watching, questioning what they could play here. Is this going to be the infamous Mojo Elder Titan, or is a simple LOA 5-position Elder Titan is likely?
I think it's LOA. He's been spamming ET, Lina in pubs, CM as well. Like heroes that honestly other teams aren't picking, surprisingly. He seems to have his own meta. Even Lion he's playing, which is, of course, as we talked about, a garbage hero. But of course, in the hands of LOA, he kind of makes anything look good. So this is one of his heroes.
Now, one thing that I find interesting is how much time Quincy Crew has used this draft. I mean, they talked about it, how they're not going to take any of these games lightly. I mean, we see teams get overconfident. Quincy Crew is the one team we can pretty emphatically say is the most disciplined probably in NA right now. They take every game super seriously. They crush you at their whatever their own pace is supposed to be that game. It all dependent on their draft. And, I mean, the fact that they've used more time than Black and Yellow is pretty crazy considering how much of a favorite they are in this series.
I agree. I think Dakota was mentioning, like, when they come into their interviews, they're really static personality-wise, you know, maybe a little on the boring side. It's like that, but the thing is, like, that's what lets them win, you know? Like, it's the fact that they're so objective. They just think about the game and the game alone. And I think it's like it's so obvious when you get these guys in pubs too. Like they just don't use their mics. They're just chill. Like they just assess whether the game is winnable, losable, what to do next. It's really cool.
You know what
Anyway,
they should
Medusa.
do? They need to rebrand as Business Associates. Now that that team's dead, that would be the perfect name for them.
Sure. I mean, it's true.
And they even carry briefcases on their heroes, for God's sake. Elder Titan's going to beat the crap out of them.
That's true. They should just rebrand and go totally anonymous and make up totally fake fictional characters for themselves and just take on random personas and see how that
That's
goes.
so stupid. That should not be allowed. Like,
Okay,
there's no way that'd be
yeah, it's
allowed.
probably banned and totally just
That would be
ill-favored for sure. Regardless, the comments were just, these guys are headstrong about the game. They know what's at stake. They know they want that direct pass to the playoffs. Quincy Crew always looked over. Everybody looks at NA and say, this is an EG region and there's nobody else. Some may rise for Quincy Crew, but I would make the argument this is the best unsponsored team of any region right now. But hey, maybe that's just me being NA biased. We got more picks coming out. Nature's Prophet for Quincy Crew, but before that, Medusa and now Timber coming into play for Black and Yellow.
It's a good Timber game. I feel like there's nothing that kills him right now. Like this last pick needs to address that, or they're going to really need to trust this Quinn Ember to get like an early vessel, which means his lane needs to go well. Which it's Quinn, so maybe they will trust him to get that. But I still feel like if you're Quincy, you probably want to have like a little bit more to deal with the Timber at least. Maybe just one hero needing a vessel isn't enough.
What are your thoughts on Elder Titan versus Medusa with the aura and whatnot? How important, like, obviously if you go against like a Terrorblade that wants all stat items, which typically Medusa wants as well, it crushes him, right? Elder Titan will crush them. But with the Mana Shield, does that make, I don't know how that works mechanically, does that make a big difference in terms of Elder Titan not countering Medusa?
I think it would. I think it does because like the Mana Shield would include armor reductions, so I think it does make a big deal. But I also think there was a Reddit post that was like, oh, people don't understand. People don't build, Assault Cuirass against like Drow Ranger and things like that. And I think Elder Titan is the same. Like a good Medusa player will get an AC. I think it's like a matter of people not understanding just how valuable like a little bit of armor is against Elder Titan. So I think the fact that Medusa is like okay with picking up an AC makes her fine.
One thing I don't like about her is against Elder Titan is if you're trying to go high ground, it's going to be pretty difficult considering she's always just a siege tank, right? She's not going to be moving around a lot. So
I was going to make
Elder
this
Titan
exact
get
point.
everything off.
Yeah, I was going to make this exact point. Regardless of the itemization process, Medusa's play style doesn't seem to match up too well against Elder Titan. He wants you to sit still and not move a lot so he could just land everything perfectly, and that's what Medusa typically does.
To get the physical reduction, you have to be standing right on Medusa, right?
That's true.
So that seems kind of bad. Like,
so the
doesn't she just stone gaze you?
Is that right?
I think the Astral's magic, yeah, because it's a magical being. And then
if you get Shard, you can teleport to your Astral, then you get both, Jenkins.
That's true, but then I feel like you're teleporting into like some Scotty AoE girl who's just killing you. And stone gazing, stunning you. Like that actually seems that seems like a sus counter.
Oh, interesting. Right. Okay, got a little mobile carry here.
Oracle at the end for Black and Yellow as their 5 support, and then the PA is going to the UR core here, gentlemen. Let's take it in. I know it's easy to favor Quincy Crew based on their players' skill here, but mostly based on draft. What is your opinion, Suns fan?
My opinion is Quincy Crew's draft is better, not because they're Quincy Crew. I actually don't understand the Mirana. I feel like that was just picked as a comfort thing / to prevent the Enchantress from coming out. But you have like basically no setup. I feel like this is an irrelevant hero for the most part.
I'm actually going to favor Black and Yellow's draft. I think that this is a free Medusa game. I think it's a free Timber game. And I think Ryoya would normally have a fine time mid in this matchup. It's against Quinn, so it's a little more difficult. But I like Black and Yellow's draft.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Why don't we go ahead and get into a real fast break. And when we return, we've got Lyrical and Gods to bring you the broadcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again. We're here, game number 2 of series number 2 of not our second day of the NA DPC. It's been a little bit longer than that. Gods, how you doing? You excited for the game?
Doing good. Yeah, I'm excited. It's always fun to spend my Sundays watching casting Dota. It's kind of become like a nice little Sunday tradition for me, and great to see people coming out, checking out the good NA Dota we're getting every Sunday. So yeah, it's been good.
I agree. And we do have a little bit of a pause now. We're getting ready to hop into this game. But yeah, the drafts, I think that this is something that has kind of been a little bit of a revelation recently, is the Medusa coming out. I think that, I'm not sure if it was just EG that started it, but I think that's where we first saw it in terms of our NA games at the very least. I think people might have been doing it in other drafts as well. But I don't know. I feel like this is going to be kind of a somewhat passive game. Like, they're going to need these other heroes, the Timber and the Void Spirit, to do a ton for it to work.
Yeah, I think that's where EG had a lot of success, because they've got like the two most active offlane players, like with Crit and Ice Ice Ice. A little worried. I don't feel Timbersaw is like that active play-making hero. It is a space-making hero, because if you bully your lane, play behind the tower, you can, basically create a lot of room for Medusa to just do her thing, farm some jungle camps and whatnot. But I don't think it's maybe going to be enough, particularly with the Mirana support, which is also not a very reliable playmaker. But we'll see how things go.
Right. I mean, I think that's a good point that you make. Like, it's that you either have one of two ways to deal with Timber. Either you send everybody to the Timber, and then that makes space, or they're like, all right, we're going to ignore the Timber, and Timber does what he wants, and then they go after your Medusa, which could be a bit of a problem. And then on the other side, Quincy crew, they opt for a last pick PA paired together with an ET. So not a ton of like super hard stuns. That's maybe coming from the Earthshaker, but trying to reduce that armor if you can get up close.
Yeah, I think the first, 3 to 4 minutes of this game is going to be very important to kind of determine, which pathway we go down for the Timbersaw. And it really comes down to how well SVG can do on this Elder Titan. He is an amazing ET player, and theoretically, I think ET can actually bully a Timbersaw out of lane at level 1, level 2. So the first couple minutes of these lanes, I think, is crucial to see how the Timbers game is going to go.
All right, well, we'll watch for that one for sure. So get underway now. Teams have fully unpaused. LOA playing on his ET, formerly known as SVG. We talked with him already about it, and some sort of personal meaning that it has for him, the name change that he wouldn't reveal to the rest of the world yet, but people could guess on what it was he had said. So be sure to go hit them up on Twitter, let them know what you think it might mean. But for now, at least, Black and Yellow gonna head on into the jungle, see if they can find anybody. The only person that might be there would be Yuar, but it looks like he's hiding well behind the tower.
Yeah, I like what we're seeing. Nature's Prophet sending out treants to try and scout for the Observer Ward, playing around the tower vision with it being nighttime. And Ryoya's positioning himself here to basically prevent the treant, because if you put the treant in tower range at nighttime, you don't see units, but Ryoya's kind of basically hiding the fact they have a ward here by standing there.
Okay.
This is what you see most mid laners do. If you're going to put a ward in your mid lane, you need to go and put your hero there to prevent, heroes or units from scouting out your ward.
Interesting. Yeah. Those early movements that can give so much, just the early vision, and then the lane can fall apart from there.
Dewarding wards in mid is a good chunk of change, Very quickly will pay for itself and give you a little bit of XP.
It looks like it's going to be 2 bounty runes apiece as MSS spots Yemsun. They got the block off if they want it.
I think they're looking for an early first blood. Jubei's saying, I think Jubei recognizes what I was kind of talking about is this level 1, level 2 is so important for Timbersaw's game, and ET can bully a Timber. So Jubei's going to start up top to try and help this lane do well, hoping that ET overextends with the Astral Spirit and you can get a Fortune's End into arrow combo. But he gets immediately scouted.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen now, most likely. Although,
I think he used this purge too early. He's gonna get the plus damage.
Arrow, yeah, and he gets the. I mean, they were trying to set up for the arrow, but now he gets all that armor as well. And LOA just backs away, and he's gonna be fine now.
Yeah, still good damage. He's only playing with a couple of tangos because he started with boot, so this is still really good for Black and Yellow. I like what we're seeing to give Timbersaw a good game. Timbersaw is very level dependent, but that level 1 and level 2 is such a weak point of this hero. And now they've got both LOA and Yuar down to like 25% health to start the lanes.
That's good. Really nice stuff there. They do see a courier heading over, and this could be a pretty easy snipe here if they want to get with the Earthshaker. But good micro, going to send it back, recognizing that they would have vision, and black and yellow will at least not be able to lose their courier right out of the get-go.
Flea gonna arrow a big neutral, get an early level 2 for him, giving 0 solo XP. You want to get Timbersaw at level 3 as soon as possible in this lane. And yeah, I think they've done a perfect job ensuring that Timbersaw does not lose the lane in the first couple of minutes. So I like how things have started for black and yellow. They basically, you know, navigated that dangerous part of the laning stage very well. Say that Zero's getting low.
Good damage. And they're bringing in LOA, actually gets the stun instead on a Fleet, and you are getting up in his face. This is dangerous. He's got another Whirling Death. Zero backs out, and that should be enough, as both will probably try and salve back up afterwards. Flea goes in, breaks that salve, and now another stomp. Hey, they caught him. He might be in some trouble now. Tries to turn, but first blood drawn by Uar, and all that good work to try and set him up for a good lane ends up being for naught, as the dagger goes out, slows down Flea.
And Quincy just recognizing level 2 is when they have the best chance to deal with this Timbersaw. You got to get him before he hits that level 3. And unfortunately for Zero, his magic stick arrived on the courier, but it went to his backpack. So there were like 6 or 7 spells used that didn't give him magic stick charges. So just a slight bit of miss-courier usage, kind of hurting Zero a bit there.
Well, they punish it hard for sure. And now, off to a pretty decent start, I think.
I think it's still okay for Timber's game. He's going to get this creep wave at his tower. He's going to get level 3 off of this, and he's getting all the last hits. So with level 3, this is going to be a pretty straightforward lane for him, I feel.
And Uar actually has to run all the way back home right now. Didn't end up buying out a ton of regen. And so they're going to be gone for a second. Mid lane, we haven't really taken a look at it so far. Yep. Looking relatively even, with this time Roya coming out a bit ahead. Has a couple more denies on the board over Quinn. So not bad there.
I imagine he's happier to have a more 50-50 matchup as, kills down bottom. Oracle going down to the Nature's Prophet plus Shaker. But yeah, as far as mid lane goes, much more even matchup here. We'll see both mid laners get an early bottle. Rune control going to be key, as we'll probably see both teams sending supports to try and help control those runes.
Yeah, so important in these instances here. And there is already going to be an MSS rotating up towards the bottom side, and we'll see if they get a good spawn up top. Nope, it's going to be down bottom, where there'll be an invis for MSS.
Yeah, that's good for black and yellow. Quincy basically guaranteed they get the rune, but basically you just don't want Quinn to refill his bottle. Yeah. He could be in some trouble mid, taking a lot of damage here.
Did have Flame Guard already taken off and already going to be killed. Ryoya gets the combo together with Jubei, and they find the punish. Not bad at all.
Really well played. Nice timing, knowing he didn't have the bottle charges, just a fairy fire.
Oh, bottom?
Bottom, yeah.
Damn, son. Gotta try and run. MSS has another punch here in a second, as well as the rotation coming from Leslau. They got him fully encapsulated in pain, and MSS the one that closes out.
Yeah. That's the downside of that mid rotation from Jubei is you expose your Medusa. So the second they realize Jubei's mid, they get up on Medusa's face with the Treants taking tower shots. Very safe move from Quincy crew, and a great punish.
5-minute mark comes around. Flea able to get one of those bounty runes. Looks like it's going to be a trade-off of 2 apiece, most likely. So Leslau doesn't really want to try and TP out.
I'll probably try and leave this bounty rune for the Void Spirit. Yep, Flea doesn't pick it up. Much like I imagine Quinn. Actually, he doesn't need the bounty rune because he's got full health, full mana, and full bottle. So
could save it for later. Why not?
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
Any stacks? Doesn't look like there's any stacking going on really for the Medusa at all. So Yamsun's going to kind of just need to sort of make it up in the old-fashioned way in the jungle later on.
Yeah. Probably see those stacks happen a little bit later. Right now, Mirana's just been farming the neutral camps, not looking to actually stack them. And we'll probably see Medusa happy just to do her own stacking, if anything. Bottom lane, some aggression
comes
there,
down.
yeah.
Oh, what a great block off there with the Sprout. Tries to get away. LOA makes the move. Stomp comes out afterwards. Hits onto both of them. MSS. Oh, wait, they broke it. Is able to get out of there. Yamsun getting chased down, though, by LOA. Look at these punches. Dude, Elder Titan's still a good hero. Gotta watch out.
Yeah. But the counter pressure is going to be on the PA, who needs to find a way to TP out. Flea has an arrow, so he's Maybe just going to try juke his way through the river. Not sure if Flea wants to chase this one since the Timbersaw not going to chase with him.
No.
Zero wants to start taking and pressuring towers. This is his job this game is to basically be as annoying as possible to create room for Medusa to farm. That's going to take some time because right now it looks like Zero not able to get the tower just yet.
Now they bring it in with the ET trying to pull those creeps back. Taking a lot of damage here.
Yeah.
And another Timber Chain. He might just be dead. Chased down, done.
He helped get the... I mean, the tower's hitting the creep, but the siege is still alive, so... Zero's just going to tank this creep wave, get his reactive up, and this top tier 1 tower, I believe, is going to die here.
A rare miss there for Quincy crew. As they are going to not be able to hit. Although, actually, they leave the catapult to get taken down. That was a little bit weird.
I don't know what happened there. Flea pulled the side wave, I guess?
Okay, they're going to farm this instead, so that's the decision. Then they can get the tower later. Regardless, Maria goes down bottom, kills off the PA. A lot of good things happening in the last couple of minutes for Black and Yellow.
Yeah.
In the midst of like this sort of weird chaos that's going on, they're making a lot happen. And even mid now, a little bit of the counterpunch coming as they rotate, try to take down Yamsun. They're going to get him.
In some ways, yeah, Black and Yellow kind of winning the lanes. The problem is the one lane that's not doing... They're winning 2 of the 3 lanes. The one lane not doing well is Medusa. And that's just, you know, it's a hero you're going to chuck in the jungle just to farm and catch up, but it does kind of concern you a little bit because you're kind of... The way you win this game is off of a farm Medusa.
Right. Yeah, they need to alleviate that pressure at some point and actually let her be able to, like, retreat back to the jungle, for sure.
But Zero's in a really good spot with his Timbersaw. Finally takes that tier 1 top tower. I'd like to see him go do basically the same thing in another lane. I think you give this top jungle and lane maybe to the Medusa and send Timbersaw mid lane to just play behind the tower even. They just don't have the magic damage to really bring down a Timbersaw right now. So I think Timbersaw ideally just rotates off this top lane once you push it out a bit more.
Yeah, it's always a bit weird when you start dealing with like ET and the magic resistance stuff, but as you said, for right now, they don't even have points in natural order, so it's not a concern at this stage.
Yeah, the magic damage is like the Quinn Ember, who doesn't have any points in Searing Chains yet.
Right.
Nature's Prophet ultimate, nothing you're really concerned about. There's no blink on Shaker for a little bit. But at the same time, he could stay top and pressure the tier 2. It's just, it's very slow going. Tier 2 towers with, you know, 700 more health than the tier 1s. Very hard to bring those down.
Right, and the sort of like marginal value is, I think, much higher when you can shut off part of the jungle by taking that tier 1 mid.
Well, Quinn's hunting this Medusa. They have the high ground ward.
My God, this guy's crazy. He just comes in and punches him, forces a reaction, and then can back out. That's awesome.
Yeah, just I mean, forcing a TP in itself is already, you know, we've had AUI talk about on the cast how TPs are kind of like your early game ultimates. You put it on cooldown, and that in itself can be a big win. So Quinn has to be careful here, though.
Tries to chase, not able to hit that remnant. This is the problem. No reliable lockdown for Quinn. He has a completely free start to this game, although they're queuing it up. Fortune's End goes over. Good dodge by Quinn. And now they can just look at him. That's it. That's all they got. Misses on the remnant. He's just doing twinkle toes around him. With MSS moving in now. Look, they're going to go kill Jubei. Oh my God, Quinn. I mean, you got to pick lockdown when you see this Ember.
Yeah. It kind of looked like he wasn't even trying to get a kill there. He was just Sleight of Fist spamming. And, you know, over time, eventually, those supports die to that. As Quinn, unable to stop Ryo getting the rune. Gets arrowed.
Well played by Flea. Hits it up, but the Flame Guard turnaround. Even when it's good, it's not good enough.
Just phase boots plus Blight Zone. Sleight of Fist with the bonus damage was just shredding these backline supports.
Dude. This is going to be a scary game to be an Oracle. I don't know how he does this.
But yeah, this game in a very even place right now. Both Dusa and PA have been pressured heavily in the lane, so both carries are playing from behind, trying to get their farming. Well, PA trying to get a farming item up, Dusa just trying to get some levels so you can split shot farm. And it really is both teams with playmaking mids who are having a good game as well as playmaking offlaners. So much better place for Black and Yellow to be in.
Yeah, this is somewhat impressive here. Particularly against a team that we've seen just completely owned at times. But you can see, again, one of the problems is just how freely Quinn feels like he can play in this game. Remnant jumps away. He's going to get hit by that, but is there any follow-up? Arrow
I think he can
goes
dodge.
out.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
Good recognition by Quinn. You know, he used a slide of fist. Jubei was going to set up an arrow, so he just leapt away. But Quinn is, like you kind of alluded to earlier, just going to have the freest game because of the lack of control. He may have died twice already this game, but that was very much like laning stage problems.
Right.
Right now, he's just waiting for, I believe, Nature's Prophet to finish this Orchid. Then he's going to have a partner to play with. Because Quinn, you can see already, he just wants to play up in their face, play aggressive, create space. He knows this PA. You are going to carry him if he gets farmed. So he's just looking for teammates to play with. And right now, he doesn't have any.
Speaking of playing together as a teammate, though, they're trying to hunt Leslau in the jungle with the Timber Saw nearby. This would be a pretty nice pickup here. But a lot of creeps around to soak up that arrow. And looking for the angle. Tries to find it. More creeps in the way. Arrow goes out. Juke to the side. Slough tries to live. Tries to get out. Won't happen.
Good moves. They're doing this without Ryoya. Ryoya, the reason he's not coming to these fights is he recognizes the problem. Like, we have no stuns. How the hell do we do anything? So he's like, okay, let's get a Yule Scepter. Then you've got the Yules into Aether Remnant. That's basically going to be their reliable disable throughout the mid game because you cannot rely on a Fortune's End setup. You cannot rely on an arrow setup. It's all up to the Void Spirit to set up kills for them.
Yeah, that's the thing that sort of finishes off their draft in a way, the thing that pulls it all together a little bit. And even then, it's not like 100% guaranteed. Like when there's treants going around, even if you got the Yules at that point, if he's around, like that can maybe mess up the combo as well. But we'll see.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the summons. Nature's Prophet treants are good against the arrow, good against the remnant. Like they can cause a lot of problems this game.
No. Well, quick pause. Hopefully, we'll be getting Ryoya back with us in just a moment. But like grand state of the game right now, how do you feel like both teams are feeling? Is there one team that sort of has been more happy with the start that they've gotten?
I think after you play a game one where you get completely rolled over and stomped, Black and Yellow have to be happy that they're in this game. They're actually slightly ahead. But the real test is about to start because what we've seen with Ember just playing kind of this bullying style is about to get a lot scarier when Lelis has an Orchid. That kill there on Lelis is actually really big because he was about 300, less than 300 away from an Orchid. So that's going to, even just slowing down his Orchid by a minute is going to give your Void Spirit a bit of breathing room. It's going to give your Deuce a bit of breathing room. So I think the game for Quincy Crew really starts around the 15-minute mark with the Orchid and the Blink Dagger on Shaker. For Black and Yellow, the game's, it's still very much a let's just run around as 4 heroes while Medusa farms kind of thing. So it's not going to necessarily change anytime soon.
Right. Yeah, it changes when Medusa has like
the Yules reveal. Mid lane.
Big one. If they can kill him. And almost got away from that one, but it did not happen. Ryoya finishes off the final kill onto Quinn, and that changes, like you said, the state of the game a little bit.
Yeah. Committing the double astral set for the damage, Ryoya just comes out with a Yules that completely catches Quinn by surprise. I love the move. The second he gets the Yules, he's like, okay, I'm done farming. That's it. That's the only item I need to hard farm this game. From here on out, we're going to see Ryoya play, I hope, on the dire side of the map in the top of the mid lane.
Let's go. Well, a quick little move in towards mid as he is playing, per your suggestions, right in the mid, pressuring it out as top. Zero.
Yeah, he has a Yules. He can't just TP away, but doesn't look like Zero wants to mess around with Quinn's TP, but just forcing the TP again. These TPs being forced is a win in itself often.
Flea still scouting, seeing if they could find an opening here. This would be really big, and they're looking for him yet again. Arrow follow-up afterwards. Long duration stun. He is done. Another kill here onto Quinn. As soon as this Yules has shown up, 2 quick kills.
Yeah. I think this is the Black and Yellow we were kind of like hoping for and hyping up before the NA DPC kind of began. They're playing really good Dota. All their rotations make a lot of sense. Their drafting was really good. I think that's a big part of why Jenkins out of the draft was like, their draft makes a lot of sense.
Yules gets off in time. They weren't able to get the chain stun off. Ryoya gets away from the blink reveal. Wow. Quincy Crew not able to make it work. And right now, Black and Yellow looking pretty freaking good in this game number 2. Up 4,000 gold.
Yeah, I think it's going to keep increasing if they can just... The Medusa's not going to get pressured. We're just going to see Medusa continue to hit stacked up jungle camps while the other 4 heroes are going to keep on making these rotations.
There is little
Man.
I like that they're playing around Timber too. Timber, this was the pick that gave them the draft advantage. There was just no answer to the Timbersaw and Quincy crew.
That's right. Arrow goes out. They find Yawar again. Easy setup, easy kill. Making all the plays that they need to. Now setting up wards deep in the jungle. They're playing how Quincy was playing against them last game. Every time they leave the map, they're getting picked off here.
They're just a step ahead. Like Lelos hasn't been able to get involved because this Orchid got delayed, whereas Timbersaw hasn't been item dependent. The Void Spirit did farm a little bit to complete the Yules, but since getting the Yules, it's just been constantly trying to make plays happen, and is going to find Quinn again.
Good for him. Arrow comes out afterwards, not able to block that one. MSS tries to keep him alive. Quinn down super low. He will also fall. They save Roya. Didn't even really need to necessarily, but now they got Leslau chased down. He's also going to drop. 3 go down for the price of the Oracle. Take that one every day of the week.
They want you are.
They decide to turn on to the big bad carry himself. 4 dead. Black and yellow. What a comeback.
Yeah. Considering how badly they got beat down in game 1, it did not bother them at all. They just straight up first picked this Flea Miranda, one of his iconic heroes, and you know, the whole team is playing well here. And so we're going to see Quincy crew in a really tough spot. Their PA is being heavily pressured, and they got to realize, like, they know this Medusa on the other side is just free farming and going to out-carry a PA if you're an item ahead, which is exactly what's happening. You can already see the item build for Yamson. Butterfly into MKB. PA doesn't want to build MKB herself, and then you're going to have the answer for the PA evasion.
Really, really solid stuff. And, well, a smoke up by MSS. He has Blink Echo in another 8 seconds. It looks like they want to make a move again, but like we said, we're getting into this next tier of items that might sort of, you know, make it too tough to take the fight. Roya walks in, just sitting on that remnant for a moment. Arrow won't connect onto anybody. 8,000 gold lead at the 16-minute mark.
Yep. I don't think... It's just so hard for Quincy to make plays because both Timber and Medusa are kind of at this unkillable stage of their game where there just isn't enough damage to gank either of these heroes.
And you see this. They smoked to go up top to try and kill the Medusa. Medusa TPs from right here back to her triangle. Like, Yamsun's doing a perfect job of anticipating when the gank's going to come and then getting out of there.
Some really good map sense. And also, I think you want to TP to hit the stack timing, but you know...
Hey,
another setup.
Whatever works, it works.
Exactly.
They take down LOA.
You know, it's like bit of column A, bit of column B.
Right.
And he knew something was coming his way and also knew he had some jungle creeps to go farm. Dusa is just level 13, getting out of control at this point. Isn't even top 2 net worth, but that's his teammate. So Yamson more than happy. What you have to look at is his net worth compared to the PA's, where there is a 2,700 gold difference.
Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, not insurmountable, but it's a bit of an issue. They're going right now onto Quinn. Arrow goes out. They've got MSS behind, but can't solve the problem.
Yeah.
The setup is too good.
Absolutely. And yeah, Quinn going... I think he had such a good start on the Ember Spirit that he went for this kind of greedier right-click build, not going for any kind of defensive like the Yule Scepter. And the roots are causing a lot of problems. There's no real easy escape for the Void Spirit, who is looking like a really good counter to Quinn this game.
Absolutely. Well, 10,000 gold lead. And again, I can't help but notice like how much it was just getting that Yules that changed the complexion of this game.
Yeah.
Like it all started from that point, and it's gone completely downhill in the last basically just 5 minutes. That's all it's been.
Been very impressed with Ryoya. He has been the one who said, you know, give me a second to come online and then I will do everything we need to just give our Medusa all the space in the world. And they're going to get a tier 2 tower. We talked about these tier 2 towers before 20 minutes, allowing you to take outposts. This time it's Black and Yellow's turn to do that to Quincy. Tier 2 mid going to go down, and if they can invade that top side of the map, they're going to get that outpost.
And look, Yamsun is like so aware of what's going on. 4 heroes around him, hiding off in the trees.
Yeah.
And knows that there could be a gank coming.
Yeah, if they can definitely fight here if his teammates come, but he doesn't want to get caught by himself. Yeah, they're going to preemptively TP Oracle, so he can go farm now with the Oracle sitting behind him.
Well, and moving in with 0, trying to push everybody else out of here by Quincy crew. They did take that outpost.
And this early Lotus, now they have a way to answer the Searing Chains.
Right.
Plus the the Orchid, so a very impactful item.
Move in, blink away, gonna stomp, TP's it out. Oh, he was facing the wrong way and you are! He had to cancel his TP!
I don't know if they realize, though.
Oh,
you are just gonna hide in the trees.
He doesn't even have blur anymore. Oh my god. Dude, the creep. Oh, there's nothing.
He's sneaking by.
Yeah.
Luckily, there's no Radiant Observer wards around here. The courier almost scouted him there.
Jeez. Meanwhile, mid
Back in
lane,
mid, yeah.
action going on. They managed to just barely get out of there with less Lau. All right, this is going to transition into Yor being able to farm some creep, so this is still good. But doesn't have a TP at all, actually.
Yeah, not sure what his escape's going to be. Zero gets a catch of his own with the help of the Mirana. And double outpost was claimed. They see you are here. He's going to go in on Jubei, force an ultimate.
Now he's got to run. Got to get out of here.
I think he just knows he's dead, so he's going to try to bring the Jubei with him.
Yeah. And doesn't manage to get the kill. Wow.
This game's looking pretty difficult to win for Quincy Crew. They are massively behind. And Black and Yellow, all they got to do is, wait for this Medusa to maybe get 1 or 2 more items, grab an Aegis, and then, this game plays itself out.
That's right. Yeah, Quincy Crew, as of yet, the only team in North America, as they will find the kill on the fleet, to have not dropped a game against anybody, not just a series. But it could happen here as Black and Yellow, they're looking for redemption. This is really do or die for them in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. This best of 3 for Black and Yellow is actually insanely important because they lost to A-Team. They have to find a win somewhere or they're going to get eliminated. So you wouldn't expect them to get a win against Quincy, but if they can, that could save them from elimination from the upper division.
Right. Wow. Any win is obviously amazing, and being able to pull out one here would be huge. They're up. They're dominating the triangle. They're forcing Quincy Crew back into their base. They're going to go for a 4-man smoke here. See what this can turn into.
And they're playing things nice and patiently.
The scan. It hits right on them. They know.
I don't think, Quincy's going to get a whole lot of this. Perhaps worrying about an early Roshan, but the real test is going to perhaps come when, Black and Yellow do manage to follow the steps, get Medusa another item or 2, grab an Aegis, is how well can Quincy hold high ground? Because Shaker plus ET is, 2 of the best high grounding defending heroes in the game.
Right. We've seen what this Aghanim Shard can do on Shaker when left to his own devices. And Quinn going to back out again. Yeah, this is going to be a very telling game, I think, for both teams. If you're Black and Yellow and you can close this out cleanly, win the game, then, this is a lot of good things going to come forward in the future with you. Likewise, if Quincy Crew can somehow manage to claw their way back in to this one, it would be really important as well. But it's now a scan onto Roche. They know that this is happening. It's a DD on Yamsun, too. That's tough.
ET in the Roshan pit, though. They're going to get here in time to contest it.
Now it moves on in, looking for the stomp, going to connect, and Aegis on the ground. Needs to run in, getting MSS. He sneaks the Aegis away. Silence onto all of them. He's going down. Now Jubei starting to fall. They're going to have Earthshaker when he gets back up, but the taunt is there. A great stomp to buy enough time for everybody else to get out. What a freaking Aegis contest.
That, I don't know. I think Black and Yellow still come out on top. Yeah, they don't get the Aegis, but they just killed the 2 carries and only lost an Oracle. And they lost the Aegis. It was one of those weird moments where MSS stealing the Aegis, on paper you think you always want to steal the Aegis, but he didn't find a good Blink Echo. Because he blinked in to grab the Aegis, he put himself out of position to use any of his spells effectively. I think they needed to let Quinn snipe the Aegis. I don't know if he could have remnanted in to grab it, but getting the Aegis on Ember would have been perfect for Quincy Crew, and then Shaker just needs to sit back and find the right Echo Slam. But in those moments, like if you're a Shaker, you're like, oh, I've got a free Aegis still, I'm going for it. But it probably wasn't the play to make in that exact situation.
I couldn't see, but it looked like Quinn was like getting ready and he'd already used a remnant or something, or maybe there was some other issue that was going on. Something looked funky there. But BKB going to be used, forcing out. Oh, the root now comes right on time. Able to connect and kill Roya, that's huge. Oh, things are getting a little bit testy, and now Zero moves in, finds the kill onto Leslau, but he might be punished as well. They're moving in super deep. Stomp is not going to connect. They have the Yules to keep him alive for the moment. The big jump in from everybody, and they kill Zero. 2 very substantial deaths. That's so much gold. And now they're thinking about going for more. Quinn doesn't have any more remnants left, though.
Backs off. We're going to see I think Black and Yellow kind of, learned a small lesson from that one. They can't get too excited yet about the position they're in. They have a massive gold lead. They probably can feel it. They know that, but Quincy Crew still have a lot of answers. Their team fight, their lockdown and control with this Shaker ET is something that has to be respected.
And it only gets stronger with more levels, too. I mean, granted, you could say the same thing about Medusa. As the M-Sun is going to run on in here. And... well, they let...
looks like LOA is going to die top. Meanwhile, Flea sniped the room bottom, but he may pay for this with his life.
Chase down,
Orchid.
Nice.
He popped his Moonlight Shadow just to go try snipe some bounty runes. Kind of greedy play, I feel. Like, that's a pretty long cooldown, and I get they're not really making moves while two of their heroes were dead, but it does feel like, Flea's going for this less team-oriented build, going for the Ag Scepter, and we're going to see him get very far in this game, but that's something that Quincy could try and take advantage of.
Right. Absolutely. Well, again, if you're Quincy Crew right now, just trying to hold off as long as they can, delay this game. 16,000 gold lead. And I mean, that is still one good thing about the Aegis, even though they did lose those couple of carries, is that, it means that high ground is not quite as easy for the Black and Yellow squad.
Yeah. And we're seeing them now play more behind Medusa. Like, Void Spirit's positioning is... he wants to be near Yamsun, since that is, in some ways, their strongest hero. Now online, level 20, so Medusa very much ready to fight, ready to get active.
Yep. Getting closer to that MKB as well. Just needs a couple hundred more gold and be there. While Leslau pushes out these side lanes, has a full Bloodthorn done. Interesting. With the Butterfly being done on Dusa, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And Dusa, not going to have any items or ways to get rid of it herself. The Timbersaw can use the Lotus defensively, but a kind of cool item pickup.
Well, still the slow siege of the high ground. They're not going to come to defend these tier 2s, obviously. Not really that much value there.
Your mic's going a bit crazy, Gabe.
Oh, perfect. Just what we wanted.
It's gone full alien mode. But we will see, no real way to stop this Medusa from just mowing down towers when the rest of Black and Yellow is sitting behind her. Oracle has the false promise. Looks like they're just going to give up these outer towers and play for the high ground defense. But I'd be surprised to see Black and Yellow force high ground. Like, they may just have to wait for next Roshan. So that's about 3.5 to 5 minutes away. But Black and Yellow probably going to show a lot of respect here for Quincy.
Am I sounding a little bit more beautiful now?
Nope, not at all.
Perfect.
I don't know if that's something you can get fixed on your side, but sorry about that, Gabe. Mid lane, they're going to jump in. Quinn going to get orchided up and just instantly brought down. Doesn't have the BKB yet, about 400 gold away from that. And that's, kind of a big kill. Not like something they can turn into a high ground push. It doesn't look like right now. They're going to just focus on shoving out these lanes. Looking for another kill. Yawar bottom could be in trouble here. Has the BKB. May just have to BKB and TP out. Gets the BKB off. Blinks his way out of there. And that's a 10-second BKB being forced by Black and Yellow, who are just making these nice, efficient moves around the side of the map. And Black and Yellow just cautiously keeping all these lanes pushed out, not trying to force any kind of a big high ground push just yet. You see a smoke from Quincy Crew not really amounting to a whole lot. And we can kind of see what a slightly desperate situation Quincy Crew feel like they're in. Yawar, with just a Battlefield BKB, has a Divine Rapier queued up as his next big item. So feeling like, Quincy Crew, we got to go all in. We need something big out of Yawar. We're getting out-farmed, outscaled, so Rapier for Yawar is going to be the attempted answer from Quincy Crew.
Oh, one more time again. Am I here?
No, unfortunately not.
God.
I don't know what's... Yeah, not sure what's going on. Maybe we can try and fix it between games, or... But, apologies, as we'll try to get that one sorted out for you guys. This game kind of entering a bit of a slower pace now, as Quincy Crew don't really have any ways to make easy plays on that. They're maybe going to consider using this Shaker to set a kill up top. Flea, under the Astral Spirit, MSS looks for the Fissure, catches him mid-leap, but Flea playing under the protection of his ward. Actually going to go blinking in, catches MSS with the arrow into Starstorm and the Urn Charges. No blink out. He gets caught by the Observer Ward on the high ground. As to the north, Yamsen threw out a Stone Gaze. He's looking for bigger fish to fry. As Quincy Crew are surrounding Yamsen, he no longer has the Stone Gaze. LOA is going to be careful. He considers throwing out the ultimate. He gets Yamsen, but does absolutely no damage. And Leslau going to just BKB TP himself out of there. The numbers just favoring Black and Yellow. They had backup. They bring down both Quincy Crew supports. And they're going to Moonlight Shadow and go fishing for some more. Just bounty runes it looks like being picked up, though. Yamsen, spider legs on him. Very nice item for a Medusa to have. You get that extra item slot later on, theoretically at least. Also has the Elven Tunic in the backpack, so it can get that extra evasion for a team fight against the PA. PA, speaking of which, going to get caught, forced to BKB once again. That's the 9-second BKB now being used. Every BKB from UR so far has been defensive, and now with BKB on cooldown, Black and Yellow can play even more aggressive, but it does look like they're just going to continue to stall this game, wait for Roshan. The earliest Roche respawn is now, and we're going to find out that Roche will be coming back in 2 minutes' time. So, no signs of any kind of aggression from Quincy Crew. The one play they attempted to make top didn't really lead to a whole lot, so it seems like they are content to just sit back once again, give the map up to Black and Yellow to build up an even bigger gold lead. It feels like one of those games we're going to see this, like, 15K gold lead turn to 20K, to 25, to 30K, and Black and Yellow will be reliant on having an Aegis to break the high ground here. Medusa getting closer and closer to being that 6-slotted Medusa as well. Swift Blink queued up for some extra mobility. And Quincy Crew just trying to get whatever they can out of the map. Here we go, Black and Yellow. They smoke up. The arrow going to come in. Going to catch Quinn on the outpost. He was standing still. He's stunned up for such a long time. He's going to get picked off. Did not see that arrow coming, unfortunately. And Black and Yellow are giving Quinn probably his worst game of the DPC. Quincy Crew yet to lose a game. They've killed Quinn 9 times. And they are going to press forward, it looks like, continue to scout this Roshan pit. They don't have any creep waves in any of the 3 lanes pushing out, so it doesn't look like they're going to be able to turn this into a high ground push, but again, it's just about increasing that lead, getting Yamsen his next big item. He still has room to grow. He's still holding onto that Quelling Blade to deal with Medusa, but to deal with the Nature's Prophet Sprout. And you've got to imagine he's going to be considering upgrading that once he gets enough gold to go with this Swift Blink. As for Quincy, it seems like they're going to be all in on this Yawar Rapier to give them any chance to turn this game around. Still a bit of a ways to go, and that's the, I think, concern Quincy have is how far behind are they going to be by the time Rapier comes online. They're constantly split pushing lanes. Leslau in the bottom lane. Again, push out the lane, BKB TP out. That's the only thing we see Black and Yellow not really having an answer to is these BKB TPs. Curious to see if we see any kind of, like, niche Abyssal Blade pick up on someone like a Void Spirit or a Timbersaw. Does feel like having a BKB TP cancel could be very impactful for them, but even without one, it doesn't feel like they're in too much trouble here. PA buys a Deso, decides the Rapier's taking too long. Roche has respawned, and Quincy Crew going all in. They buy the Deso, they're going all in for perhaps what could be one last big fight here. You are saying, I can't get the Rapier, it's too far away, and they want to stop this Roche from happening. Treants moving out, scouting a lot of this. Nice fish onto 2 heroes, but MSS has been caught in the backlines. Flea doing a great job fighting the Shaker. He gets the Urn Charge on him to stop the Blink Dagger. And without that Shaker follow-up, it just feels like they haven't got the control to deal with Black and Yellow. Void Spirit got very low, but managed to Astral Step his way out of there. Now Lelis on the backlines doesn't have a BKB to fight Flea. Flea going to pick him off with PA dead as well, and Quinn is going to die for a 10th time. It's 3 dead, and Quincy Crew may be just approaching GG territory here, and they're going to call it. Wow, the first loss of the NA DPC being dished out to Quincy Crew. It's going to force a Game 3. Not an outcome I think many people were expecting between Quincy Crew and Black and Yellow. And
absolute destruction and utter chaos. Lyrical's microphone is crazy, and we'll make sure it's fixed. But Black and Yellow pull out an upset that we were not expecting and get the win here, gentlemen. We got to break it down a bit. Game number 2, what the hell happened? Is it a fluke? Or were Quincy crew underestimating? Black and Yellow overconfident? What the hell happened?
Yeah, Shannon. What happened there? Shannon?
First and foremost, I'm still trying to recover from Lyrical's microphone breaking in the middle of the cast. I feel like he was just, the voice is just, I don't know. It's one of those things that you wake up. I'm sure Jenkins has had this in his many times, waking up as these night sweats and whatnot. Just somebody, the devil himself speaking into your ear. But this was a monumental shellacking in favor of Black and Yellow. Would not have guessed it. Jenkins called it. I think you know what? You're probably like 6 or 7 games behind me in terms of predictions. I'll give you a +5 on this one. That was a very good call.
You predict the easy ones every time. Come on, you predict the easy ones.
So you're saying you're losing on purpose. That's what your excuse is?
No, I'm saying I'm doing it based on draft, like a logical, analytical analyst, as I should. It's my job, and it's your job too. But you're biased NA guy over here. Oh, the big guys are gonna win. Oh, guys, I owned a Dota team, by the way. Oh, you guys remember DC? I got 2nd place. Yes, we fucking remember, Suns fan. Okay, we remember.
Okay, back to the actual point. This was a monumental shellacking, gentlemen. Black and Yellow got off to an amazing start in the lanes, and it just kept snowballing. They played ultra good. This has felt like the A team playing, right? Where you just 3 or 4 people constantly ganking people. Medusa in this case, their position 1, just farming and reaping the rewards and whatnot. I did not really see the setup for Arrow before the game, but they made it work, man. I mean, Aether Remnant, I didn't think that was long enough, but they connected on a lot of arrows mid to late game, and you got to give them credit. They beat the shit out of Quincy crew.
Yeah, that actually is like a classic one. I mean, Void Spirits are like a relatively new hero, so I don't want to call it a classic, but when that hero first came out and everybody was getting the Yules, it was all about the Mirana Void Spirit combo. But then you forget about it because it's like, oh, well, Thompson's getting an Ags every game, or like an Orchid, right? So what are you going to eat the Remnant, skill shot into skill shot? That's stupid. That's like pudge hooking into arrow. It's dumb. But with the Yule Scepter, that's just guaranteed setup every single time, right? Because it's the Yule's timer. It's not about the Ether Remnant time. All it needs to do is stun them for like 1 extra second. That's it. And it's guaranteed max arrow.
And remember, this was what Black and Yellow led off the draft with, was his first pick, Mirana. I mean, something that they kind of knew they were already going to get into. I mean, Sunfan, you said it may be just like a preference pick. Maybe Flea was saying, I'm feeling Mirana. We're already down. We lost the A team. Give me something I can swag on. And maybe you go out there with that little bit of extra guff and you pull out a bit of momentum, and suddenly you're not letting go of that momentum. I have never seen Quinn put in that kind of position before in a long, long time. He was like 4th or 3rd in net worth at the bottom.
I mean, the main issue for the mid to late game, or if you want to even call that late game at that point, if Quinn's getting shut down, that means Yawar has to not get shut down. But they both were completely dumpster in their lanes. Saw Yawar like having to juke out of his own lane for like good 30 seconds, just not farming because of the great rotations from Black and Yellow. So he just couldn't find his timings. He was looking to go for the Divine Rapier, which I don't think would have made a difference. But I mean, I like the idea. He ended up having to go for Deso because they wanted to fight then and there. I mean, the Aegis steal was nice.
That was nice.
At first. But then both carries died instantly. You lost the Aegis. And it's like, okay, well, Black and Yellow literally got a 1K net worth bump from that, despite it being a cool play.
They needed like 3 Aegis steals. I feel like the Timbersaw wasn't dealt with at all. He was never dealt with. Like the only thing in the draft that they could deal with Timber was the Ember. He didn't build a vessel. Like they had nothing versus him, and I feel like they got punished for that. Like they were almost like a little disrespecting of this like Timber hero, thinking they could just avoid it instead of like dealing with it. But they just ran at them on Black and Yellow.
Yeah, and now we're going to be running our way to a game number 3. Believe it or not, I am very eager to see the potential confidence that now could be behind Black and Yellow. If they pull out a win here in game 3, this region, and certainly that 2nd spot, is going to be totally up for grabs, and things are going to get quite crazy at the upper part of the division and the lower part of the division. So let's get into a break when we come back. Game number 3 of Quincy Crew versus Black and Yellow. Welcome back, everyone. It's time to get into game number 3 of Quincy Crew versus Black and Yellow. That's right, game 3, Black and Yellow pulling out the upset here in game number 2, showing that they have a lot of fight to give still in this league and pulling out a bit of a stop here at Quincy Crew. We'll see how things get revamped for the second draft. And I'm curious what you do if you're Quincy Crew to change things up. Is it just kind of reflecting on yourself, would you say, Suns fan, and trying to not get too brazen with stuff like Elder Titan and keeping it more on the meta line, maybe not feeling so confident going Ember early when it's against the Void? Or is it banning some sort of respect towards Black and Yellow? Though I don't think you want to respect ban Miranda or anything like that. So what do you do for Quincy?
Yeah, probably not banning the Mirana. I don't know. I think it's more looking inward than anything else. Like anytime in professional sports, whether it be esports or traditional, something like this happens, you look at it as an anomaly. You're like, you don't want to brush it off like you didn't do anything wrong. You need to learn from your mistakes, obviously. But at the same time, you're like, all right, that just happened. We got to come back stronger because, like you said, this is a huge game now. So let's look at it this way, gentlemen. If Black and Yellow wins, okay, the bottom 3 then becomes a 3-way tie in theory if things go according to plan versus 5-man minus and A team. That's interesting in and of itself. Then the top 2 becomes interesting because EG will be the number 1, and then the EG versus Quincy Crew will be an even bigger deal, which every other team will be rooting for EG to win out. Because if Quincy Crew beats EG and they tie, then nobody else is in contention for top 2. So it's a very specific scenario, but it's going to be really interesting to see how things shape up. Of course, this could end up just being a stomp for Quincy Crew. So that all goes out the window. But the idea is very interesting and intriguing, gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, that's the 2 paths we're essentially looking at here, Jenkins. You have Black and Yellow on one side who maybe are now feeling themselves, feeling the confidence, feeling the swagger, and they bring that momentum into game 3, take a W, and really shake up the division. Or we're looking at Quincy Crew coming back, playing even more nerd sweaty and try hard than ever, and putting out a message that, no, just kidding, psych, we're actually at the top.
Yeah, I think if you're Quincy Crew, a lot of the last game, I feel like the draft was not as victorious as they usually are in the draft. I mean, like SVG or LOA is the one himself who said it. They always try to draft the tools that they need to win the game, even if it means them picking unconventional heroes, even if it means them putting Yawar on a hero that's not necessarily the greatest in the late game and more of an early game presence. there are certain tools that you need to deal with certain heroes. And I feel like they didn't answer that with picks in the last game. And then because Black and Yellow's laning phase was going so well and it was just even, they couldn't answer it by just outplaying either. And I think that makes sense. Like, when you look at these teams, there's extremely skilled individual players on both teams, right? If this is two pubs, this is like a relatively even draft in terms of MMR. You have like your 10K guy on one side, Quinn, your 10K guy on the other side, Ryoya. Same thing like across all of the roles, right? They're relatively the same rank. So you have to draft to have the tools to deal with the heroes, I think. I would bet they're going to look back at that draft and be like, Timbersaw was the issue.
Now, I will attempt to make a Kyle-type analogy here, and you tell me if you would agree with it. If you're talking about Quincy Crew bringing tools, would you say last game it's something like they brought an egg beater when all they really needed was a spoon to just kind of get the job done? Maybe overthought it a little bit?
I don't know.
so.
Egg beater is pretty versatile. Have you eaten with one before? It's challenging, but it's worth mastering, gentlemen.
You disgusting.
Having said
Hard,
that,
hard to watch, I'm sure.
Disgusting.
I still can't use chopsticks for some reason. I just can't. It's too small.
But egg
They're
beaters,
too dainty.
that's fine.
Egg beater, you just like stab it. Like there's so many, you can just intricately balance it. Like it works on your mechanics for Dota even. Like everything, it just falls in line, man.
Damn.
Highly recommend.
Gentlemen, look at this. Quincy Crew, they go an extra mile of arrogance, and they say, we're not even going to do a second pick Quinn. We'll do first pick Quinn, Void Spirit, and get it right now. We won't even be flexible with it. They could be, but we imagine they won't based on their track record. Immediate response, that Puck, who was so dominant by Quinn in game number 1, has been let through, and Ryoya says, you know what? It's my turn, and I will do the Puck this time.
The counter to the Void Spirit, too. Traditionally, this hero jumps around, and I honestly feel like the main reason teams are first phasing this Void Spirit hero is the idea of like running into a fight and then just literally backing off and like forcing teleports across the map. That's like 50% of engagements now that you see in like tier 1 Dota, at least in this region. You see like so many forced TPs into backing off, and Void Spirit is like the single greatest hero at doing that. So people are even picking it into Puck just because it's like, you know what? You're going to coil us when the actual fight starts, but we don't even want this hero for when a fight starts. We want this hero to like bait things and then to take pickoffs. That's not team fighting, so who cares about the Puck?
Yeah, Witch Doctor taken now, and almost a deny of any sort of Enchantress, or even, I mean, if you go for a Lycan, let's say, it's been a while since we've seen Lycan. He's more of a second phase hero, I feel like.
Yeah.
Do you care about Witch Doctor? Like, how much do your like? Obviously, the wolves will get stunned for a while, but is that like as hard of a counter as it is with Enchantress? Would you guys say?
It's pretty annoying. It's like your micro has to be good. It's one of those things where it's like it's really nice to have a Witch Doctor because it's an answer. If you can get the summons, like 50% of fights you'll get the summons, 50% of the other fights you won't, and he'll just kill you. But it is nice to have Doctor.
It's good against potential Beastmaster as well, right? Who is also still in the pool as a potential offlane candidate. In the meantime, though, look at this. Mirana coming out yet again. Maybe it's still flexible. Maybe just Black and Yellow, and Flea in particular saying, I felt great. Give it to me again. Why not?
He made it look good, man. He made it look really good. That Aghanim Scepter, it does crazy damage. I think people underestimate it because it sounds like, oh, Starstorm on like the arrow? Well, arrow's hard to hit, man. Like, what the hell? But then you have this setup from the Void Spirit. You have a Yule Scepter yourself. And then you realize, like, the AoE of it, too, traveling along the arrow, it's massive. It hits a ton of things, so...
You don't have to hit the arrow. If you really suck at arrows, get the Aghanim Scepter. You'll at least do some damage on the way.
That's true.
With all your missed freaking arrows. But she has a lot of talents that synergize with... she has a Spell Lamp, minus cooldown, and then the triple arrow, 25. So, not that you're going to get to that point, but... Yeah, it scales really well.
I wonder what happens at 25 if you literally triple arrow directly in front of you. Does it do 3 Starstorms and 3 arrows? Is that how it works? That'd be sick.
Oh, you mean if it just connects right next to you?
Like if you just connect,
range?
you just connect melee range with like 3 people. Like
Shotgun blast one hero in front of you, just boom. Do you think it amplifies them both? I mean,
that sounds sick.
Maybe. I don't know if it requires a unit to be next to him for the arrow to connect. I don't know. That's some Dota Lab.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Shit, you're gonna have to go find out.
have to
I would
try that.
imagine with at least a hero and a +1 or a creep, they'll both eat the double bit of damage. And
Yeah, that's
definitely, definitely a sleeper kind of Agnums, kind of like when Earthshaker was first popping in. People gave it the nod of respect, but we're still seeing it, picked up only occasionally, even here, totally ignored. I thought that hero would be on the total ban list based on, all the regions picking it up and being on the Reddit watch list, but not all teams giving it that respect.
I feel like the moment a 4 pickup comes out from one of the two teams, like an obvious 4, is it just me, or like the 4 heroes kind of obviously in the 4 position now? It's like you see a Clockwork, we know it's 5, right? You see Earth Spirit, you know it's 4. Very unlikely it's going to go mid. You see Void Spirit, very likely going to go mid. Like there's a lot of, it feels like right now people aren't really, for whatever reason, there's only a few teams that are actually doing like the flex picks, at least with the 4 position. So I feel like that's a reason why Earthshaker is getting ignored, because like you see Mirana, and then maybe now Earthshaker would come from Quincy crew because they know that Rubik's not going to be picked up as a counter, right? Because Mirana's a 4.
Yeah.
I mean, the longer a patch is out, the less flexible heroes get typically, right? And if they stay as flexible, that means they're probably broken in most cases. Like OD, I think, is a perfect example of that right now. Which, again, I mean, this is a first pick, our first ban, I should say. But in other series, we just seen him completely ignored. So I really don't understand the mindset behind that hero.
Noobs, man. Noobs. That's what it is.
I mean, he's like 8 armor, level 1 or some crap like that, right? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, top 10% move speed. He's got the 5th highest base armor in the entire game.
Ooh,
it's ridiculous.
They banned the Rubik on the black and yellow side. Maybe they consider picking up Earthshaker for themselves.
Huh.
Or some big off-lane team fighter, Enigma.
Yeah. The fact that ES is still available is kind of crazy, too.
I mean, you've got to pick it if you're Quincy, right? Like, the Rubik's out. Like, it's just a free Earthshaker game if Rubik is out.
Well,
They're probably going to pick a 5
it.
here, too.
Do you not just take it here as black and yellow?
I don't think so, no.
Wow.
Oh, okay, 5.
Third pick Enigma.
That's going to be a position 5 Enigma. I've been seeing Jubei spamming that a
Really?
lot. And I was thinking, like, man, what is Jubei doing? He's griefing because like, he's mad somebody took his role or something. And then he owned me with it. Like, he's just denying every single creep. And then black holing me at level 6, and it doesn't matter because he's a 5. So if he's solo holing people, it doesn't matter. It's actually really good. I think No Tail did this too.
Oh, I mean, could that be something? It's kind of a back pocket, if you will, and if they are able to ride that into a win and catch Quincy crew off guard, this is the time to do it.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's something that they know about as well in pubs.
Why pick it third though? I guess you still get the counter pick technically since you don't get the last pick of the second phase.
Because it's a 5, so like I feel like you don't care if it's countered. I mean, it's already kind of countered by like the Witch Doctor, right? So you'd never run this. Well, maybe you would, but you'd be unlikely to run this as a 3 versus the Witch Doctor because you just casks the Eidolons, and then all of a sudden your entire laning phase is awful on Enigma. So almost certainly
you're
a 5.
assuming that Quincy crew also is expecting this to be position 5.
I think so. They're not stupid. They've been seeing what Jubei's picking, like we all do. There's not that many people in NA. We all queue into each other all day. That's the reality of things here.
I'm nervous though because if it is a position 5, I wouldn't expect him to be able to get something like a BKB anytime soon. So without a real scary threat of a black hole, and now Quincy crew pick up something like an Earth Spirit, which can just quick silence from afar.
Okay,
that's a lot of pressure.
Counter argument here. I actually haven't seen Jubei do this one, but I saw Old White do it. I think we might have been casting. I don't know if I was just watching on my own. I don't remember. But Ether Lens, yeah, it's actually super goddamn good, and it's cheap. And I've been building it every single game on offlane Enigma, and it feels good, even in games where it's like a free Enigma game, and you. Because in that game, Old White was like behind. So it's like, oh, maybe that's why he's doing it. No, it's just broken. It's just OP. Like, it sets up for the hole so easily. And I think in a 5 position, it would work perfectly. So I'd love to see him do that in this game to set up for the holes.
All right, Jug. Good old trusty Jug comes out now.
Yeah, I don't know how this position 5 Enigma will work. I'll have to see it for myself. But they have a lot of team fight. I mean, Black Hole with Coil, Mirana does a lot of magic damage. Jug can just Omni Slash on top. The fact that you can spin with Shard and deal that much damage late game is kind of crazy as well, as long as they're disabled. You just get it on multiple people. Pretty insane team fight right now.
So let's see. If you're Quincy crew, some hero that deals with like Enigma would be nice. Like some hero that doesn't care about getting hold. I guess okay, Wraith King is banned. That would have been really good for the coil and the hole. Are there any other Wraith King like heroes? Ursa kind of sucks because his status resist does nothing against Enigma. It's good against Puck though. Let's see, what other carries do we have here?
Well, if you're not going to be getting BKB and you're careful with your positioning, I was going to say Monkey King. He was actually first banned. Never mind.
They just go with the natures
okay.
again. Okay. I mean, natures will
Split
do.
push.
Yeah. That's an answer to just not fight. that's always good and go for pickoffs. Like we talked about this Void Spirit in the last game. Void Spirit, Earth Spirit. I mean, that's some insane pickoff potential. So just avoid fighting altogether. And I think if they do this style of play and they go for some like insanely hard carry on Quincy crew, that their draft looks really good. I think if they don't go for some insanely hard carry and they have to fight, I actually think that Black and Yellow is winning this draft. So if I were Black and Yellow, I would ban out like the ultra carries. They need some hyper carry to like win this in the late game, like Ricky or something like that.
Ricky, Terrorblade.
TB is really good, yeah.
I mean, you have one building hitter with Nature's Prophet, kind of.
Alchemist
so
would
split pushy.
Alch would actually be really good, I think.
Okay.
You don't care about getting hold for the most part.
They did a Pango ban, so they're certainly all
wow.
privy
I'm
to
surprised
the
by that.
5 position Enigma.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
need
Ursa versus Jug. It's not. I mean, once you get Abyssal, maybe you can burst them down. But I feel like Jug is fine with that matchup, isn't he? Just Omni Slash or Swift Slash.
It's okay now. Yeah, it's okay. Black and Yellow, they need a beefy boy. They need somebody that's like ideally going to set up for Mirana and somebody that's beefy. So like Sand King, Mars comes to mind. Oh, Mars is actually just straight up banned in the second phase. So
I mean, this could still be an offlane Enigma as well.
It could. Yeah, Morphling would have been decent, even though it gets countered by Enigma. It is a pos 5 Enigma, so you can't really rely on like getting that hole to kill a carry. Okay, so they go for the Medusa.
I was thinking Dusa, but I mean, I guess if Enigma is going to be position 5, you don't have to worry about his potential as much in team fights. Like you think of Midnight Pulse, you think of Black Hole. Medusa's not very mobile. She's stuck in that position. She's stuck in those kind of fights. The coil.
Stone Gaze,
I guess. Yeah, Stone Gaze is your get out of jail free card for Medusa, but I guess if they can kind of nurture her into a late game like thriving position, it won't matter how things go in the early mid game. But
yeah,
right.
She's like the super carry they needed. I mean, this is like the popular super carry hero right now. She can literally just 1v5. So if you're Black and Yellow, some answer to Medusa. Pango would have been amazing because you can get Diffusal.
Wow, that's team fight. That's a lot to dump into one
Beefy
area.
boy.
And another, that likes the long-witted fights, likes heroes like Medusa that sit still. It's a decent Black and Yellow draft, I gotta say. But the big question here, though, gentlemen, is can they do it? Can they pull out the upset and close this out 2-1 against Quincy Crew and open the division up, or will Quincy Crew take the series? Suns fan, you first.
Feels like Medusa just doesn't lose, so I'm going to obviously go with Quincy Crew at the safe pick, but I'm very intrigued by Black and Yellow's draft. I'm very interested.
I'm like 50-50 on this one. I actually think the drafts are really even. If Quincy Crew doesn't fight and they can avoid fighting, I think they win. If Black and Yellow takes one good team fight, they snowball. But I'm going to go with Black and Yellow. I just, my gut feels it. That's all.
All right.
Could be
with that
indigestion,
said,
but
it's true. Very true. It's a lot of soda you have. We got to cut to a break. When we come back, though, it's time to throw it over to our casters. It is Gods and the repaired mic of Lyrical Dota.
back again, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for game number 3. I am alive and well. I have not been taken over by the robots. Gods, we got a final draft. Medusa again, looking pretty freaking good across the region. They take it with their last pick here on Quincy Crew. Is it enough?
Yeah, I think this is a much more even draft, whereas last game we saw, I would say, a fairly heavy outdraft. They had no answers for the Timbersaur especially. I like that they first took the Witch Doctor, which kind of deterred any kind of early Timber pick. It's also just good against Underlord this game. I would give Quincy an edge, but at the same time, Black and Yellow have a good draft themselves.
Yeah, I would kind of tend to agree with you there. I think that the edge that I would give Quincy Crew, though, is just their natural team edge, because I do really like the Black and Yellow draft a lot as well. So much team fight, and I guess one of the big questions will be what happens in this laning stage.
Yes, I'm very curious to see the 5-position Enigma. I've kind of caught glimpses of it in some other regions and other games, but, you know, it makes sense. It's kind of what the old Lich used to be. You just go safe lane, deny every range creep, and then it's less... It doesn't dominate the lane the way a Lich does, but come mid-game, you've got this crazy ultimate where even if you're just black holing one core, like Jenkins mentioned, that's great. That's worth it.
Totally. And if you have to have them spend spells on you to try and take it down, that's also really annoying. But there are some pretty good spells to interrupt it. Earth Spirit, you know, the silence. I'm not sure about the roll through. It feels like sometimes there's some weird interactions that exist with the rolling into certain abilities, but we'll have to wait and see.
I like what MSS was doing on his Earth Spirit. He was actually trying to stay in range of Jubei's range creep denies to make sure they get some of the XP. And also pulling waves from behind the tower. They're going to lose a courier down bottom. Bit of miss micro.
Not
the end of the world. Yeah.
The gold Nature's Prophet is going to get a couple punches on his way out of here, pulling the creep wave past.
Most noticeably, this mid lane is currently being crushed by Quinn so far.
Oh, wow.
Puck does secure a last hit using the Waning Rift to get a range creep. But yeah, Quinn is dominating. 8 and 3, including at least 1 range creep deny.
So that's every creep that he's gotten. So he might have missed 1. He didn't get a last hit. There's 2. All right, now we need to stop looking. Look somewhere else, quick. Server. But yeah, it's so far looking pretty good for him up there, or rather in the mid lane and top lane as well. Medusa 8 and 1 so far. It's going to be probably a better time because, you know, obviously not getting a round of creeps being denied out up here.
Exactly. Yeah, Medusa is having this Witch Doctor do a really good job zoning as well. Zero is just not having the easiest of times because of the Maledict potential. And you've got a Mirana. Mirana just doesn't really crush lanes. It's kind of a greedier 4 position. That's why people like picking it in pubs. Totally fine to pick this here in pubs. It is a very good 4 position, but it is on the greedy side.
Right. Well, I mean, it depends on the matchup too. You know, there's no setup for your arrow. You got people that want to jungle anyways. You might be getting a couple reports in there. But I would absolve you. Don't worry, people out there in Twitch chat.
I love playing 4-position Mirana. I just see people complain about it all the time. But, you know, as long as you're having a positive impact on the game.
I like it.
You know, so far, Flea's, you know, you're giving your offlaner solo XP. That's always nice in itself. Mirana's one of those heroes that can kind of chill in the jungle, play away from the lane. Even if you're sniping range creeps, you can give the solo XP to your offlaner. But
okay.
I feel like Zero is probably feeling like, man, I wish I had an offlane, a 4 position who could bully this Witch Doctor back. So he's having a bit of a rough time because of the Mirana.
Well, there aren't that many that do that anyways. It's just going to be... But at least they have been able to get the lane into a good position here, soaking up some amount of experience. While simultaneously, LOA going to go back and try and pull this camp to the side as well. So they're going to get one of those small camp pulls off as well.
Yeah. Taking another look at this mid lane. Looks like Puck has somewhat stabilized the lane, picked up a bottle now. So we'll see that 4-minute rune RNG come into play a little bit. I think if either mid laner wants to get a rune, they basically have to gamble and guess where it's going to spawn. Otherwise, supports are going to be there to pick it up. So we'll see if either of those 2 mid laners gets lucky.
Yeah. Well, they do bring 1 support in as MSS is here. They also have Flea still nearby, who's literally just been jungling that camp over and over again. And Raya, oh, it is going to be a DD. Spawns up top. Well done.
It's generally what happens is that both teams send 1 support to secure one of the runes. So Flea secured top, meanwhile MSS secured bottom, and then it just comes a coin toss as to whether or not it spawns there. So Nice little edge going Puck's way, considering he was slightly behind in this mid lane. These side lanes, Quincy Crew's doing very well in. Medusa is free farming and getting a ton of denies. And despite the range creeps denies down bottom, Leslau is level 4 and winning the CS battle against Jug slightly.
I mean, the sort of dynamic in this lane is wild. It's almost becoming Flea that's more the carry, right? For a brief second, he had more CS than the Puck did, and now on even marks with it. Granted, jungle creeps, but this is pretty crazy. He's going to be super farmed.
Yeah, and once he hits level 6, that's when you can see Prophet threatened kills in these side lanes. It's really hard for the support. It's really hard for anyone to play in a lane except maybe the Puck when there's that threat of a Wrath of Nature coming in.
Well, so far, they've been able to keep him pretty far back. Flea continuing to do the pulls off to the side there, trying to get some creeps along the way. As he's going to make a move. Keep on farming as down bottom. Spin onto Leslau. They got him in their sights, and Jube able to help secure that kill. First blood, John by the Jug.
And this is, something, one of the things I was curious about is what is the build on a 5-position Enigma? It goes for the second point in Malefice at level 3 for that extra bit of stun and control. It synergizes so well with the Blade Fury, and it allows him to get these kills.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I don't know if there's been many, Enigmas that go for that build, but they do make a rotation up top now and find the kill onto Zero.
Nice support rotation. Curious to see if either of these mid laners starts rotating soon. They both hit level 6 now. And securing the runes, it looks like Leslau is going to look to set up this bottom rune, but Jube going in for the deny may pay the price.
Yeah.
But in some ways, him dying to stop Quinn getting a haste rune might be worth it. He may not even die here. With backup coming, Flea as well as Ryoya there to keep Jube alive. And they've got a coil.
Nicely played now. Still have that arrow available if they want to use it. The
Treants
are blocking, but they missed the arrow. And now the movement over with Zero in the area. Quinn going to live through it. The Malefice not enough to take him down. Wow.
The raindrop combined with the great Treant micro from Lelis. He was just placing them right in front of the Mirana. Saving Quinn's life. Really heads up play. Just the Enigma dying in the end, so... Not a huge win by either side, but definitely a scenario where if Quinn dies there, things are looking really good for Black and Yellow.
Absolutely. So saving off a little bit of potential disaster. As bottom lane, it got a little bit of free time to hit away at this tower, but they bring back Lelis again, and now going to run into MSS, gets the kick away. That should be the end of the aggression down there.
Yeah, Yamsen just wanting to pick up his Ring of Health from that shop. Would like to see him, grab that magic stick, bring it out. I feel like that's a very just strong laning item, but... Back at top, LOA's found Zero with the Maledict. It's just a level 2 Maledict, but holding the cast to stop a TP out. It looks like they're going to get another kill on Zero here. He doesn't have a TP.
Now, and the chase down.
Oh, he's going to live for now. He can Quelling Blade his way through. I'm not sure if they're going to chase it. I think they just assume he TP'd out, but...
Right.
He will TP soon, and... Even so, you are still free farming away. So unlike last game where his PA was getting pressured, this time around his game is looking pretty free.
It's interesting too, because Underlord was like that last pick, and he's had just a very tough lane. It has allowed Flea to basically be completely free in this game. Has Urn, has Boots, level 4, just about 8-minute mark now. Like, Flea's been just completely catered to. He's above the Underlord net worth.
I think it's a hero that's going to look pretty good against the Medusa in the mid lane. Medusa just not a mobile hero, so she's going to be just stuck in a bit of Malice, plus the Atrophy Aura, which is going to just reduce a lot of her damage output, since it is percentage based. So I like the idea of picking this against Medusa, as long as the lane can go okay, which is where things are not looking too great for Zero so far.
Right. So now at the 8.5-minute mark, we saw MSS there get away from the Omni Slash that was used. But he won't be able to escape from this one as they drop down the coil. Quinn making the rotation afterwards. Yamsun, he's in some trouble here. I think he's just dead. They find him with the taunt, pull him back in, and gonna just chase down and kill off this Juggernaut. Can't take down SPG before he goes down.
Yeah, I like the idea of rotating Jug for that aggressive play, but he didn't have much mana. His Omni Slash was also just on cooldown. I don't know when and where he used it. I guess maybe he missed a kill on Lelis or something.
It was on MSS over by the triangle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. And yeah, without the Omni Slash, it's a very dangerous play to make. And now we're going to see Puck Ryoya get sniped. Quinn finds him.
heads up play there. Quinn recognizing that they were going to make that movement. And I mean, they did steal a good amount of farm from Iwar right there, but I think that's worth it to get the kill.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It feels like Black and Yellow is starting to get pressure now. Quinn with a Fairy's Trinket, a fantastic item to have on any Spirit hero. He's going to be able to make a lot of plays around the map, it feels like.
Very interesting start to this game as we get towards the 10-minute mark. Jubei's been able to hit level 5 on this Enigma, so it does feel like he's going to be a pretty strong, you know, contriment to all this extra damage.
Yep.
And we're almost getting to a Battle Fury on Jug.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Zero could be in some trouble. Dodges to Death Warden. Oh, what a play from SVG.
Oh,
is he going to
get down Flea? Oh my goodness.
He almost got both. That was mighty close. Nature's Prophet throws out the ultimate. I think just not catching Flea, or that may have been another kill.
Right. That would have been really nice.
That was a sick arrow dodge into Death Ward.
Well, finds that one. But the real offlaner able to survive yet again. As Jubei down here again. Almost level 6, gets rolled on, can't quite connect in time. Do they have any detection? No, nothing. Playing against Mirana, my guys.
They're hoping to pressure this tower, but Jubei able to convert the Siege Wagon. That's another really underrated aspect of this 5-position Enigma, is just being able to insta-kill Siege Wagons. Mid lane, they're going in on LOA.
Face down, roll, tries to get Roya, does manage to get the silence off. And with Quinn coming in at the end, that is a quick and easy blow up. LOA dropping down, did not have enough to survive. But still, another big kill on that puck.
Absolutely. You take that trade, and that's a 5 position for the enemy mid laner, just making sure he timed the Maledict so that it didn't get dodged. And bottom lane, they're looking for a response here. Lelis in some trouble with the Malefice catching him.
Yeah, now... Oh, wait a minute,
Tree at micro.
Nice. Oh my god, he's dropped the black hole on him. But the silence afterwards, Leslau still trying to live, wasn't ever going to be enough. MSS seeing if he can get a return kill, but it's not going to happen. And this is what you talked about. If you can manage to get a solo black hole, it can be worth it.
Yeah, absolutely worth it, but still, you know, I'm sure Lelis is saying, you know, just by the fact he microed his treants to tank the Omni Slash, he forced a black hole, so...
Yeah.
Some, you know, bit of good for... I'd say it's a bit of a small win for both teams in some ways. I think the good thing Black and Yellow is doing is fighting around their Jug. Jug is just a much stronger hero, even without any items, than the Underlord is. Underlord's job is just to sit top, get levels, get farm, and we're not going to see Zero look to rotate. So if they want to fight, they need to do so using Yamsen whenever he has Omni Slash up.
And that's really going to be the key marker that we wait for. That along with, obviously, the Dream Coil when they can do it. But not always going to be like enough damage just by virtue of the puck alone.
Yeah. The problem is you don't want to involve him too much, or we're going to see this farm discrepancy between Deuce and Jug continue to get bigger and bigger. It's already 2,000 gold between the two carries. Considering we're this early on, that is definitely a little bit concerning.
Right. And Jug is eventually going to be getting in his farming item as well, which will accelerate his farm slightly. But any distance that's made up right now is going to be sort of a bigger problem the later we go. Quinn tried to find an angle onto Flea, but couldn't quite get there.
Just a sentry being planted, so Flea not going to find any kind of a D-ward, and mid-tier 1 tower in a lot of trouble here. They're going to have to TP in the Underlord to try and defend this.
Interesting. The pressure all across the map right now. They take down that tier 1 tower bottom and now moving here. But this is the job of the Underlord. Fortunately, with SVG nearby, they're able to live through
Moonlight
a
Shadow
little
and
bit
try
of
fight
damage.
this. They don't have Black Hole, they don't have Omni Slash, so this is not an easy defense, but Quincy, respecting the Moonlight Shadow coming out, will back off for now.
Interesting. And as soon as they force it, yeah, everybody just retreats. Not sure who's they caught sight of that was Moonlight, but regardless, a really nice play. And this entire time, Iwar just keeps on farming.
Yeah, I think, you know, Quincy Crew are getting slightly more out of this, but, you know, it's staying around a 1 to 2k gold lead. Yamsen's making the right call to just get some alone time to go farming, get his Battle Fury up. I think at some point, Black and Yellow's made the call, okay, we didn't crush the early to mid game. We need our Jug to keep up with Medusa as well as possible. So Black and Yellow are playing less aggressive because they recognize that they haven't done a good job of ruining this Medusa's game.
Right. We did see another couple of stacks here, taking up the Ancients a couple of times for when the Jug does eventually finish that Battle Fury. Getting very close to getting that one done. This could be a nice move potentially from Quincy Crew if they can scout out that the Ancients are there. Maybe Medusa comes and tries to steal it. We'll have to see.
Yeah, that's where that smoke move from Quincy. As soon as Quincy smoked to that that Radiant Triangle, they immediately dropped sentries, expecting there to be wards on the Ancient, but the wards being used elsewhere. Quincy not wanting them to get dewarded, and like you mentioned, when Jug gets Battle Fury, that's going to be a big boost to Yamsen's farm and not catch up to the Medusa, but at least kind of keep him close. If Quincy somehow invade and take these Ancients, that's going to be an absolute disaster, though.
They are already moving over into that position. Away gets one of the D wards done as they stack them yet again. So a 4-stack of Ancients right here. Arrow going to go out, connect onto that Witch Doctor, drop everything, and just dodges away from it. Quinn, the dissimulate outie. And he is good to go.
Yep, nice coil dodge. Still, I like the move from Black and Yellow. They're just making sure they do everything they can to protect this top side of the map, protect their Ancients. Even with Jug not there, they just know that Quincy probably wants to come in and get some vision down, see what's going on, and they're doing everything they can to defend it.
Roll in towards mid. They find him on 0, taunted, silenced afterwards. Perfect execution. And now the tier 1 tower is going to go down. I'd be really concerned about those Ancients again. That feels like it could be a sticking point here.
Yeah, that's definitely worrying. I don't know how aware Quincy are of what's been going on with all the stacks. They haven't really scouted it for some time. I think when they did their smoke invasion, there was only maybe a double stack at most, but Black and Yellow are just going to have to 5-man these Ancients, and yet LOA comes in, scouts it out.
Yeah.
Puts down the Observer Ward. It's in a sneaky spot here. They're going to need some high ground vision, either with a Courier or an Arrow. It looks like the Courier is coming out to make sure they deward it.
Oh, they're checking
I expect all 10 heroes to come play around these Ancients if Quincy Crew want to contest this. But it looks like Yamsen's going to get in there before Quincy can make a move.
Yeah. LOA was checking, soaking up a little bit of XP along the way. But yeah, they do manage to clear those out.
Yeah.
So a lot of heroes brought over as they're just recognizing how integral all that stuff is to their strategy working.
Yeah. And it's kind of like you'd rather not commit all 5 heroes to secure your Ancients, but you just had to. And Quincy Crew just have Medusa farming while that's going on.
Right.
Ryoya could be in some trouble.
Remnant, taunt, pulls in afterwards. Silence again. They got the ulti down. Black Hole is available, but Zero's just going to have to pop his ulti to try and get out of there in time. Don't have enough damage to burst him. Slow down. Maybe they do. Ooh, that was close.
Very close. I mean, Quincy made that jump there. I was expecting just a Yule's Remnant setup on the puck, but they managed to get the lockdown even without the Yule's setup there. Quinn just placing the Remnant nicely with the roll setup, and now they're going to follow up with a tier 1 tower. Black and Yellow overall did a good job keeping these tier 1 towers alive for a long time, playing against the Nature's Prophet, but this mid game is going to get really tough. Puck is going to need an answer to the Orchid. As fight brewing mid.
Dangerous. Rolls in. There's vision up here for both these teams. Able to catch Arrow afterwards. Omni Slash directly onto Quinn. Blows him up. Now looking for more. LOA going to be chased. Has the urn. A couple more punches. And looks like they'll eventually get him. A double kill for Flea there. 8-8 in the score. 4,000 gold lead for Quincy Crew, but you can see Black and Yellow, they're not done yet.
Yeah, great move to catch the Void Spray. That's the one thing, yeah, Void Spray, if it gets caught in those roots, you can't really defensively Yules against Pit of Malice because you're just going to come right back down and get rooted again. So a tier 1 tower being claimed. This is, a small step towards having a bit more pressure on the Medusa's farm if you can get in there, get some vision around that dire triangle, but I imagine Quincy's still feeling like they're in a pretty okay spot here. Medusa's yet to get involved, as you'd kind of expect. You don't want Medusa coming to these fights until she's got 2 items usually, but Black and Yellow are, they're on pace to make this game very competitive.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it ends up going. Sending in more treants here up top as bottom. A lot of heroes smoked up. They want to get a free kill on UR. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Jubei may just have to throw away his life here.
And they got him in their sights as the beatdown comes. Maledict on him. And they will find that kill. Now trying to find another, but Zero able to juke away from the problems. And Royoya going to cut some waves. MSS got his eyes on it, finds him. There wasn't even any vision there. Just rolled through, knew where he was going to be. Silence comes out afterwards. Can he orb out way in time? TP's out, but the catch, they pull him back in right at the last second. Royoya brought down by Quinn. MSS.
I think he had, after the silence, he had the jaunt to his orb if he wanted to. I think he was just like, felt like he had a window to TP out there. So he didn't go for the jaunt, then TP. And as a result, yeah, he gets picked off. That's back-to-back kills, and Quincy Crew able to utilize those pickoffs to keep this bottom and mid lane pushed out very deep. And this Jug is under a lot of pressure as a result.
War pops the Manta, runs away again. But Bounty Rune, we'll see if they're able to pick that one up in time. Looks like they will. So Quincy Crew should set up for 4 bounties here.
Yeah, that's where that puck kill makes a big economic difference. Especially in a game like this where Quincy Crew's not like trying to play super fast tempo. They're happy to play this kind of slower farm-based game with the Medusa, so pressure's on Black and Yellow to make these plays work.
Mid, the ulti now onto Zero, trying to bring him down. Coconut's still bouncing, he's down super low, but they won't be able to find the finish there. Again, the healing ward coming into play.
He's pretty tanky still, luckily. Ryoya bottom gets orked it up.
Scary.
Still working on his Yule Scepter. It looks like he will keep himself alive. But like you say, it's still scary for him.
MSS has the roll if he wants to go for it. Has the orb to jump back to. Not going to go for that one.
Here
The rest
comes
of
the
the team
smoke
coming into position. Trying to find him. LOA, the one that they might run to first. The taunt catches onto Jug. Flea trying to chase Arrow. Splits the uprights. Doing literally nothing. Zero, though, is the one that's going to get jumped on here. They already have the sentry down. And that will be a kill onto the Underlord as he falls and still looking for more. Quinn not giving up the chase. They also have less loud TPing in. These heroes are so mobile, and they'll find another kill onto the poor old Mirana. One by one, they go down. Quincy Crew have really started to hit on all strides now.
They did deal with the creeps bottom lane, and Ryoya's going to grab another creep wave. So this could keep this tier 2 bottom tower alive, it looks like. Really good disengage from Quincy Crew there, because I love that. That smoke from Black and Yellow was perfect. It completely caught them by surprise, but the vision from Quincy with the Observer plus Sentry. So they scouted them out in the Moonlight Shadow the second the smoke wore off and just disengaged, forced Black and Yellow to chase a little bit too far. Once they missed the arrow, that's when the turnaround happened. They were like, okay, they missed the arrow, and we positioned perfectly. Medusa's in the front lines. They can't get past her because of Stone Gaze. Now we can basically find some pickoffs here.
Right. Really nice stuff. I mean, that's the thing that just ends the life of one of those heroes. It's why this Mirana pick has been so good and worked so well for them the past couple games. But nonetheless, they take this tier 2 tower down bottom while also going mid onto the puck. The taunt, the stun, it's all there. Man, this Void Spirit as an answer to a puck has been so sick.
Yeah. It's very much, it's such a kind of fun 1v1 mid because just throughout the game because of the fact they both counter each other.
Oh, taunt, chase, yet again. They find him. Zero going to drop. Anybody that gets gone on at this point by the Spirit Bros are just in the grave.
Yeah. This has been kind of classic Quincy Crew Dota. They just kind of flip a switch in the mid game, find pickoffs all over the map. Black and Yellow played a really solid laning stage. They were only down by a couple thousand gold, maybe 15, 16 minutes in, but Quincy have since then just been able to pick and choose much better fights, utilize their item timings like this, Nature's Prophet Orchid, incredibly well, not to mention Quinn with the Yules and Aghanim Scepter now, making it so hard for so many heroes like Mirana, Puck. They all rely on these escape spells.
Yeah, very tough to really have anything to do now. Quinn does a quick little jump through there onto the Jug, and they'll be able to push out that top lane if they want, but wherever they want to go right now, Quincy Crew able to do it. Roche is probably on the menu in the near future.
Yeah, this Dusa closing in on a Daedalus plus level 20 has ample damage to deal with Roshan, and until they get a Blink Dagger on this Enigma, it feels like Jubei's ability to find a black hole, like we mentioned, like, yeah, all he has to do maybe is black hole 1 core, but when Quincy's grouping up, he's not going to have a black hole opening without a blink, and even with a blink, I feel like it's going to be incredibly hard to get a black hole off because there's so many ways to cancel it.
Taunt comes through as they will find that puck. Has Yule Scepter trying to live, jumps away again, doesn't have a Blink Dagger though, so Ryoya going to drop. Another death for the puck. 0-6-3. It has been a rough game for him.
Very, very tough puck game playing against the Void Spirit. Once that Void Spirit got some momentum, this game just quickly got a bit out of hand. They can still delay, and that's going to be kind of the game plan here for Black and Yellow, but they're going to be in the position Quincy Crew was last game, where it just feels like you're getting further and further behind while you give up map control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and needing to get some of these plays, spin TP away.